What's up, guys? Welcome into another episode of Jammin with J Money, man. Obviously, I'm J Money, and this is my guy Jordan Sharp. What's up, Jordan? Everything good with you? How did everything go with you yesterday?
I had a pretty good night last night. Hopped on you guys. Hopped on Portland and the under in that one. So that was a good one. I think I appreciate that from you and Tony. Had Ended up cashing both my plays from the show. My first half under plays on OKC, Brooklyn, and Sacramento and Phoenix pretty easily. So that was good. Hit a couple nice prop picks on RJ Barrett. But the one thing I was telling you about, man, before the show would have been a banner night if I would have hit on Dennis Schroeder and the points over. I grabbed that as soon as I saw Gallinari was out. Ended up missing that one. That was my biggest play of the night, but still a very positive day on the side. Definitely one of my better in the last couple of weeks too. So that felt really good. How about you? How did you end up last night?
It wasn't really a good day for me, man. Really still pissed from it. You know what I'm saying? I can't say it. And lately, I haven't been taking a whole lot of losses, and I can't say it wasn't. I wasn't. I was pretty pissed at first, but wasn't too pissed. But I don't know, man. I'm still pissed, man. You know what I'm saying? The refs they tried to help the Brooklyn team. I'm not gonna even say their name. The Brooklyn team. I mean, then this guy SD at the I'm not even gonna say his name either, man. They gifted him with a free throw there at the end. If he made the free throw, obviously they would have fouled him. I mean, we would have everybody would have covered whatever, no matter what you got. I would have rather them lose by one or two in regular time, but it's all good, man. The Nets didn't end up getting it done in overtime. When it went to overtime, I knew we was fucked, but I still think it was the right side. Obviously, some games just go like that. I mean, I can't let it get me too down, but I'm still pretty pissed. The under still hit in that game. The Pistons they storm all the way back in the fourth quarter versus the Cavs, 31-18. Still didn't cover that game. They only win by two. If you had the money line, good job. You had the Cavs plus 3.5, plus four. Good job there as well. Was on the Blazers there, plus the 2.5. They end up getting the cash there. Carmelo with the pretty much with the game winner there. That was nice to see there. I thought it was going to go into overtime, but the under cash as well. Really liked that under there in this spot. I don't know why in the hell they had 220 hanging there. There was an absolute mistake there. If you guys hopped on the under there was an easy cash there. The Timberwolves were pretty much leading the whole game, and then the Grizzlies outscored them 37-28 in the fourth quarter, and then winning that game by 7. It was a good job there by the Grizzlies. The Suns, man, they are absolutely pretenders. I'm glad I stayed off this shit, man. And I actually was watching the game like, oh damn, I probably missed out on money here once again with the Suns. It looked good in the first half, even the third quarter. It was a lot of their problems. They outscored them 34-25 in the third quarter. Oh, cool. The Suns are back. They finna get a blowout win, outscored 36-16. I feel even worse for people that had the Suns minus 6.5. It looked like an easy winner. Then the Kings just come in that fourth quarter and just take the money. That was pretty crazy there. The Knicks, they were never in that game really versus the Lakers. Obviously, scary fall there with Anthony Davis. I was watching that game live. Kyle Kuzma, it's crazy. I be watching shit behind the scenes. Kuzma, he can't stand LeBron now. Ever since the trade talks or whatever, Kuzma been traded, he looks at LeBron totally different. He won't even sit next to him on the bench. I don't know. I've been looking at all type of different shit, man. He just look at LeBron with a side eye. Like every time you look at him, he can't stand him, man. But Knicks get their ass blown out by 30. They got another game here. It was interesting to see they announced that Marcus Morris out at the last minute. You look, they got another game today, obviously back to back, and I mean, ain't nothing wrong with his neck, man. They would just sit him out probably for. It'd be interesting to see if Morris sit out again today, but he probably gonna play today. Especially Randall ruled out as well for the Knicks, man. Let's go ahead and get to today's card, man. Another big injury just came out. Obviously, you see line movement all over the place. There were really not too much line moving up to 7.5 now. Some places still 6.5 at Heritage and Bookmaker, man. For the Celtics here, Kemba Walker just got ruled in. Don't know how, you know what I'm saying, much is going. Should obviously going to help him. I mean, he could be a little rusty here. I mean, you got the Spurs that have been playing a little bit better. They coming off a huge win. Could be kind of sort of a letdown spot for him. I'm not touching this game. I don't even have a lean on this game. Do you have some on this game, Jordan? Spurs versus Celtics?
Now this one's tough. The San Antonio obviously coming off that huge win, but it's a Boston team that's getting Kemba Walker back, who I think was definitely undervalued. His absence was undervalued by the bookmakers while he was out. I do not think they're going to make that same mistake again twice. So I think they pretty much have this line where I expected it. So yeah, not a ton of value I think for this game. Had a few thoughts on the total, but I think it's pretty sharp too. It's just one of those games. And once again, we say it all the time, but 9 games tonight, so you really don't have to force anything, especially in this big slate of early games where I think more of the value comes the later you get in the night. And this is definitely one of the ones on the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to value, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, you never have to force anything, man. No matter, you know what I'm saying, no matter even if it's a light game, even if it's a whole day, if you don't like nothing, you don't have to force shit, man, if you don't want. But yeah, I can't say I mean, even when I was looking at I was thinking about the under in this spot. Obviously Kimba that was with no Kimba Walker, but him just being ruled in, I can't say I mean he was ruled in pretty early as well. What game time decision, anything. He's playing. So now I gotta go back and look at the game, obviously you know what I'm saying, from a little different perspective here. But I can't say it's probably one that I won't force. Spurs have been playing a little bit better lately, coming off that real nice win, man, over the Bucks there at the house. But on the road, they hadn't been good either. They hadn't been good this year after a win either, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were like 2-10, 2-11 ATS after a win. They were 3-11 on the road and 7-7 ATS on the road. So maybe you know what I'm saying. You know that the Celtics coming off a loss as well. So and then they get Kemba Walker back. Yeah, only thing I could take is in this game is the Celtics. I mean, especially with getting Walker back. Sometimes that hurts. He has been out for what 3-4 games. He could be a little rusty, but I doubt it, man. Still, his just presence, them come back to the house. It's laying a short spread as well. I wouldn't be surprised them smack the Spurs up. I would lean towards the Celtics in that spot, man. Let's get to the next game. We got the Raptors versus the Hornets here. Raptors end up taking the L yesterday. Obviously, it's a back-to-back spot. Still no Van Fleet here. I was a little surprised to see it at 4. I'm not a huge fan of the Hornets, but when I saw it at 4 last night, I was like, man, I don't think that's gonna stick. Wake up this morning, it's 2.5. Doesn't look like Marvin Williams is gonna play in this spot. He is doubtful for the Hornets. Everybody else gonna play. They can be a young, scrappy team, especially here at the house. They went and beat the Mavs here in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? It was a away game that they came in beat. They came to play that day. So I mean, they just took a L versus the Pacers. Pacers came in pissed that day. So now that you know what I'm saying, they off a loss. The Raptors off a loss as well. Raptors are still probably the better team, even without Van Fleet. They're a really great defensive team right now. I mean, they can't score. I'd be looking towards the under here. The Hornets actually can play some defense as well. I was watching last game. Even though their game went over, they still pay attention to the defensive end. I'm leaning towards the under here, and it's crazy to say I actually would be leaning towards the Hornets in this spot. What you thinking, Jordan?
Yeah, I think you're on the right track of this one. I don't have a play on this game, but definitely leaning towards the under and chasing the steam with the Hornets a little bit here. I mean, this is a Raptors team that we talk about how good they've been without all their pieces together, but in a back-to-back spot here, it's going to be very difficult to continue to live up to the level of play that they've been showing themselves here, coming off a really tough game last night, a really tough loss, like you said. I mean, last second you got 35-year-old Carmelo Anthony booking the game winner against you. That's a little tough to stomach at home, and now you got to go on the road against a team that obviously isn't very good, but is very scrappy and plays a lot better at home with the fans behind them than they do on the road. And they got some playmakers. I mean, it would not surprise me at all to see Charlotte win outright tonight. I mean, it's probably wouldn't be not a bad one to throw in a little money line action. I don't know if the 2.5 points now, you're not getting as much value obviously if you got it at 4 last night, but there's still some money line value if you think they're going to win outright, which I mean I might lean towards here. The under, I think, also is could be pretty valuable here, correlating with the underdog here, just because, I mean, if Toronto's defense comes to play here and they're not tired throughout 4 quarters, they're really going to limit some of the parts of the Charlotte offense, especially because they still have the advantage inside, which is something they haven't really been able to do lately without Siakam and Gasol in there. They're still a lot bigger than I think Charlotte, especially if Bismack Biyombo doesn't play very well. So that is the only thing that really keeping me away from betting this game, I think, is just knowing the fact that Toronto, we continue to undervalue Toronto, and then they come out and prove to you, hey, we're still a really good team. So it's probably what's going to keep me off the Hornets in the end, but still pretty intriguing. I will say that it's not. It's definitely not one that I'll ignore if we get more information later in the evening. That's for sure.
Yeah, you said it there. And yeah, sometimes late, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get late info, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Somebody they could even shit could get crazy here and fucking around. Oh,
Yeah, on
back
the
to back. Oh,
back, yeah.
Lowry sitting. You know what I'm saying? What if that shit
Mhm.
happened? What if them boys? Anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. And back to back, Lowry. You know what I'm saying? Played some minutes last night. What if he was ruled out ruled out late? You'd be like, shit. I gotta hop on the Hornets now. Shit, the boys missing everybody. It probably won't happen, but no, I've seen it all, man. One thing, man, the last time these two played on November 18th, the Raptors fucking killed them, boy. They went, boy, they extinct the Hornets. Well, I'm talking about 132 to 96. Obviously, it was at the house, and they still had everybody. So it'll be interesting if teams remember that type shit. When you lose by dinner for 40 points, they're like, we remember that shit, but no matter how bad we are, now they back at the house. I mean, that's a true revenge spot. And I mean, if they wanna try to get some revenge, now is their time. Let's just put it that way. Why the Raptors are licking their wounds. So if the Hornets are really coming here play with revenge, they trying to play a little bit better here lately. If Graham could start hitting them threes, like get going. Rozier's been playing a lot better as lately. PJ Washington, Bridges, and boys come to play. I could see him. I could see him getting it done here tonight, man. I understand why this line moved to 2.5, man. I mean, you still getting points in a winnable game, home spot. Like you say, the Raptors keep showing us every time we doubt them, but I'll be looking at the Hornets at this one, man. I might have to hop on this one lately, man. Y'all know I be going live on my Twitter lately. I might have to hop on the Hornets there, man. Let's look like a juicy revenge spot, man. But not one that I'm on as of now. Let's get to this. Let's go ahead and get to this. And that Celtics and Spurs line moving all over the place, man. Some places went to 7, back down to 6.5. Bovada's still hanging at 6.5. That's pretty crazy. Them boys always taxing over there. But let's get to this Heat versus the Pacers game, man. Huge game. Huge game. Brogdon might come back in this spot. I mean, he's gonna see if you like the Pacers now, yeah, you might want to get on it. You know what I'm saying? You might want to get on it now because Brogdon, he's questionable. He probably gonna come back here. Sabonis, I know you probably got more info on me. You right there in Indy, Jordan. I don't, you know what I'm saying, have a ton of inside info. I know that Jimmy Butler gonna play. Winslow got ruled in, so I mean, this is a pretty big game. The Pacers went over there and played in Miami and damn near beat them without Brogdon. They played and I always tell people, man, the Pacers match up well versus the Heat. They do. The Pacers are 5-0 ATS the last 5 games in last 5 meetings. Like say, they lost their game by 1 in Miami without Brogdon. So they do get Winslow back here to Heat. It's a real intriguing game, man. Definitely be one to lean towards the under in this type of game, especially with the last game going to 225. I really like to go back and forth. The first game, well, that was last year, but the last time before it was 95 to 88. Then now, first game of the season, 225. Man, I think that this one's gonna be the defensive one. Like you say, even if I need Brogdon to come back, obviously, because he's a much better defender than Aaron Holiday. Where are you looking in this spot, man? You taking Indiana tonight? It's just pretty much a pick 'em right now. We know if Brogdon get ruled in, it's going to at least -3.
Yeah, I think Brogdon is a true game time decision. So I think that the line will still, you're definitely right, will definitely move if he gets announced in at some point here. I'm kind of keeping my eye on the shoot around news, hoping that he participated. I'm not sure if he did or not, but yeah, like you said, Miami getting back Justice Winslow tonight too. This could be a playoff preview matchup in the East. These are two very good teams, and like you said, they match up really well against one another. So you would think that defense is going to lead the way here, but man, total of 210, that's not very high. The books know that obviously that this is going to be a slower paced game. And these two teams are pretty much right at the bottom of the league in pace this year. So it's going to be slow. It's going to be really good defense. The question is who comes out on top, and it's really tough because, like you said, it's very much dependent on if Brogdon plays. As long as Sabonis is okay, I think he's still officially questionable. So those are two very big pieces for the Pacers that you want to know what their status is before you place a bet on this game. But I think the value here is on the Pacers in the first half, especially if Brogdon and Sabonis are in the lineup tonight. Pacers team is third in the league in first half home defense this year. They're allowing less than 100 points per 100 possessions. One of only 3 teams that are doing that this year in the first half at home. You got a Heat team that is almost night and day on the road in the first half as they are at home. We always talk about the Heat smashing the Heat in the first half at home. I know our guy Junior. Our thoughts are with him, and he's made a ton of money in the first half on the Heat this year. But this is a spot where they're on the road, and I think they're getting a little bit too much clout for being that good first half team because their defense falls way off on the road in the first half, especially in a spot like this where you're against a team that also could out defend you if all their pieces are available here. So I'm going to go with the Pacers here in the first half. I think it's going to be a real low scoring first half. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see the under hit, but I think the better value is on Indiana if all their guys are in this one. So I'm going to take the -1/2. I think here after we get off the show.
Exactly. That's not a bad look, man. The Indiana first half, it's not bad. The Heat are not the same on the road, man. I would even go as far as to say them boys suck on the road. Like for real, I didn't see them lose to some teams that they. I'm talking about with everybody that they should not have lost, and that almost makes you wonder did they? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they probably rest Jimmy for the last game. Like we gonna want to keep him fresh for this next game. It's on the road. We haven't been losing on the road. Probably want to get this win. Pacers 5-0. ATS last five Wednesday games. I don't know why a little tricky stat there. Like I said, there's a little revenge game, and it's what the thing that's scary, bro. They play really well versus the Heat in Miami without Brogdon, and it's you telling me it's the opposite around, the other way around now. They at home where they play a whole lot better. And they potentially most likely going to be full squad here. They are the Heat getting Winslow back, but other than that, man, I mean they 0-4-1 ATS last five games following a straight up win. They are not the same on the road. I can only look towards the Pacers in this spot, man. First half and full game. That's the only way I could look. And I know it's a low total, but I think this is going to be a playoff type game. We know the Heat have 10 to, and the number is going up. We've seen them sometimes 10 to, if the Heat are not hitting their shots, I always tell y'all, the three is huge. I know it's Jimmy Butler, and he's still not a true point guard, in my opinion. He's still not a true point guard. And if it's Brogdon versus Butler, I think that's a good neutralizer there. Obviously, you got to stop Dragic off the bench, though. That's the main thing. And Holiday, I don't know if he got it in him. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that boy got it in him. But I still think it's gonna be an Eastern Conference playoff type matchup. Man, even though the number moving up, I can only lean towards under, and I can only take the Pacers here at the house with revenge. And like I say, the way that the Heat been playing on the road, 9-9 on the road, is very pedestrian. Very. Now, I think they're a better team than that. I really do. And they bullshit versus the Pacers at the house, man. Could only look towards the Pacers. Let's get to the next game, man. I really don't have a lot on this one, man, at all. The Wizards versus the Magic here. I did not expect to see, and Bradley Beal went through shoot around, and it was a game time decision. So he went through shoot around game time decision. Didn't play last game. You know what I'm saying? Hey, probably leaning towards playing here. They still without Isaac. The man, look, the Magic are superior defensively here, and it's crazy. Who's gonna win, offense or defense? Magic much better defense, light years ahead of them. The offense much worse. I mean, the Wizards are light and sorry. I mean, even with this roster, light years ahead of the Magic in offense, and they'll play no defense whatsoever. Man, it's a total clash of two different type of styles. You will never see a total in of 220 in a Magic game, except for against the Wizards, man. With 10.5, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that for the Magic. I thought it was gonna be like 5.5 or something. Then I was liking the Magic 10. I don't know about that one, bro. I don't even if they had Isaac full squad. I don't know if they got the offense to do it. Man, what you thinking in this one, Jordan?
I am staying far, far away. I will say this though, I'm not going to be quick to jump on the Wizards here, even though they are getting a little steam here, down to 9.5, and even if Beal comes back, I know that'll send the line going crazy. But I think if you like the Magic here, you might want to wait until that news is official here before you place your bets, because I'm not going to like discount Orlando's offensive struggles at all. I think they are really, really struggling without John Isaac, and I think that they're already an offense that's kind of lower tier in the league, even with him in the lineup. But I mean, against, like you said, the Wizards, like anybody can score on the Wizards. Like anybody can hit a bunch of shots against the Wizards at home, get hot, hit a bunch of threes, win by 20 points. You know, like I'm not betting on either side of this game. Like, I mean, I could obviously see the Wizards keeping it close, especially if Beal is in, but I'm also their defense is so bad that I think even the Magic could look competent again on offensively. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're exactly right. And the Magic did already go to Wizards and smack them up. And that was even without Gordon. So I mean, they showed they're the much better team. Wizards could be playing with revenge. I mean, obviously they don't have any bigs, and that's what the Magic are good at. It's just I mean, obviously it was 10.5. It's went down to 9.5 since. And it's crazy how the market moves. They hear Bill might play. Oh, we moving it to, you know what I'm saying? It's just like yesterday. Oh, LeBron James. Yeah, they kind of throw you a pump fake. LeBron James, illness. He might not play. He's questionable. Oh, line go down. People start hopping on Knicks. They going, you know what I'm saying? Then LeBron, oh, he played. They smack him by 30. So sometimes they just do little pump fakes out like that, man. I don't know. I'm standing far. I have no feel for the game whatsoever. I'm definitely not forcing nothing. If you have it, hey, good luck. Let's get to this next game, man. We got the Rockets versus Hawks here. We got another spot here where the team is the last time these two teams played, the Rockets smacked them boys. It was the second of a back to back. 158 to 111. That's what the score was. 47 points. Terrible loss. So I mean, my big thing is no matter how bad a team is, man, I think they remember that type shit, man. They came off a terrible loss. They're not going to have Parker in this spot. The one really thing I don't like in this one, and you can do numbers all day, all you want. Really, it's still all about the spot, man. I don't like that Fernando is out. It's the starting center for the Hawks. You know what I'm saying? Probably gonna have to move Collins over there to the five. And hopefully, I don't know if he can really just bang like that with Capella, man. And it's crazy. I'm just crazy to say they needed Fernando. They needed him, man, and because they need Collins and Fernando out there at the same time. We need Collins at the four, man. But hopefully Trae Young go for 50 tonight, man. Only way I could look in this game is the Hawks, man. The Rockets, they without Westbrook in this game. They got a huge game tomorrow, even though it's a huger game for the Westbrook. It's still a big game for Harden as well. When you look at that, it's the first game of back-to-back. You always got to kind of sort of look ahead in the future a little bit to see who they playing next, see if it's a possible look-ahead spot. They coming off a huge win there versus the 76ers. You know what I'm saying? I know the Rockets seem like they back, but we saw them the last game on the road versus the Pelicans. I know it was without Westbrook and Harden. They lost that game by 15. Still, that game should have been close. They lost to the Warriors on the road by 12 with everybody. They 0-4 ATS last four games versus a team with the winning percentage less than 400. They play down their competition. They 1-5 ATS last six road games with the team versus with a losing home record. So that's exactly that right. You can't lose to the Warriors there, bro. You just can't. I mean, they play better at the house. They whooped up on field. They did what they supposed to. Now they going into Halls. The Hawks can score now. I mean, they got Collins back. Ice traded gang on 8.5. I mean, I know my book gonna try to give me a 9 here. I think if you like the Hawks, I think you wait till right before game time. You should be able to get an 8.5 or 9 at the very worst, man. It's at 8 now. I could only take the Hawks here, man. I see the Rockets fuck around, look ahead and lose this game. And we saw the Hawks what they do. Who's the game before? The Pacers went out there and smacked them. So we'll see if the offense is right. They don't play a whole lot of defense. And really, you look at the Hawks they 4-0 ATS the last four. The last game opened at 8.5, then went to 8, then 7.5. So I mean, it closed at 7. They ended up losing by 8 to Denver. It just came to play. They really 4-0 ATS the last four games. You can call it 3-1. Been playing a little bit better lately. I'm not even saying they can win it. I'm just saying they keep it close versus the Rockets, looking ahead of playing down to their competition, looking ahead. Got the OKC on deck tomorrow. First game of a back-to-back. No Westbrook. Can only take the Hawks, man. You better try to get as many points you can. I know it could be, and with 47-point revenge, I'm gonna try to get the 9, but I can't say I gotta put something on the Hawks in this spot, man. I have to at the house, home dog. The Rockets not at full go. I got to, man. Plus the 8.5. What you got, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, this is the only game that you and I talked about for like 5 minutes before the show started, because I think we're going to end up on the same side of this one. The Hawks numbers so far are still not horrible, if defensively, especially if you look at those last four games that they've covered. They've actually played pretty well, except for that last game, like you said, against Denver. So, I mean, like, this is a team now at home with their best player back outside of Trae Young and John Collins, who's only been back a few games now. And so if you look at their splits, they at home versus the Rockets on the road, like, the Rockets don't play any defense on the road. Now you're telling me they're going to be without Russell Westbrook, and they have to go into Atlanta on the first first game of back-to-back against a much tougher opponent tomorrow. Game, you're resting one of your best players, which is I think a low-key sign of disrespect, obviously, that the Hawks are going to take that as. And if you're the Hawks here, you're still trying to fight and scrap and claw. I mean, they're talking about trading for Andre Drummond last week. Like, I mean, this team obviously hasn't given up yet. Like, they're still trying to be a force right now. They're trying to make basketball in Atlanta a thing again, which it has not been for so long. But I mean, if you think about back to those glory years where they were in the Eastern Conference Finals and the top team in the East, I mean, like, they're not too far off from that with the pieces they have. Yeah, they're young, but I mean, they could get one more veteran in here and be right in the thick of thing in the East. And they got a lot of big expiring contracts to do that too. So I mean, I can't see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not on it yet, but I'm with you, man. I'm Hawks or nothing in this game. 8 points at home with Houston missing one of their best players. And like you said, a potential little look ahead spot. It's just way too many points.
Exactly, and hopefully, and we know if Harden ain't getting his calls, man. If all the money on the Rockets tonight and rest like, hey, you know what, we ain't giving the calls. They can still win. Rockets win by 7. What's wrong with that? Everything cool. You get the 8 now, win by 8. What's wrong with that, man? Nothing at all. Trey Young, Herter. I mean, you got Hunter out there. I really don't like the fact. I mean, Austin Rivers start, man. I'm not scared of him. Not scared of him at all.
One
They
thing,
got
I don't want to interrupt you.
Gordon
Mind
coming
if I
back.
add one more thing? I don't want to
Yeah,
interrupt you.
go
Mind if I
ahead.
add one more thing real quick? I forgot to mention this is the one thing that if you look at the flip side of this, obviously we're both probably going to end up on the Hawks here. But Houston is a weird spot for them with 4 days off in between their last game. So that obviously is a big thing of like, are they going to come out flat or are they going to come out and mow people down? On 2 to 3 days rest this year, they're 6-1 against the spread. So they obviously do well with lots of rest. Now, 4 days is a lot of rest. Usually you're looking at, 1 to 3 days is a pretty good rest period for a basketball team. Four days off, and now you're looking at, are they going to come out rusty? So that's the big question mark tonight without Westbrook. Are they going to come out rusty
Oh,
offensively?
I
What'd
just
you say?
thought of something. Do you remember that? You
No,
remember
go
that
ahead.
article? Jordan, do you remember that article? I just got kind of excited. Harden, day off, ATL,
Oh, no.
strip
Oh,
club.
no.
What?
Magic City.
What? Put me down for the Hawks plus 8.5,
Yeah.
man.
Sign me
it's
up.
it's
I'm
out
ready.
there too, and
Yep.
don't you know what I'm
Send it, bro.
saying?
I'm ready.
Put me down for them. It's out there. It's a plus 8.5 at Bovada. Plus 8.5 minus the 115. It's plus eights across the board other than that. But wait, bro, trust me. Public money gonna come in. They don't even know that Harden is out. They don't even, and that's I think it's a little disrespectful. 8.5 on the road without Harden. They
Yeah.
smoking. They just lost their past
Without
two road
Westbrook.
games. We'll see. I mean, the Hawks don't play too much defense. I mean, they will have Damian Jones stepping in there. So still, I'm glad that they not start Alex Lynn because he really don't play no damn defense. He a big body out there, don't play no fucking defense. Damian Jones, hopefully he comes to play today. Hopefully versus Capella. I think they can. I think. I hope Harden went and had him a real good night last night. I hope
Mm-hmm.
so. I hope he doesn't come to play. I hope he ain't getting his foul. Situational spot. I obviously got to do. I'm gonna do even more, and I might have to get on this shit for real, like, cause I'm really, and I like when we do the show, cause I be talking my shit, but I can't say the Hawks was the only play that I was looking at today. I thought that 8 was juicy. I thought it was disrespectful. It's a huge, like, you got blowout by 47 the last game. It's a huge revenge spot, man. It's not even necessarily revenge. It's just like even. I mean, they can still lose. We getting 8 at the house. They can still lose 5 or 6. This ain't -1 or pick where they got to win. They're not probably not finna win. It could happen though. I didn't think they were finna beat the Pacers. I thought they had no chance in hell. Came out there and smacked them. I like the Hawks, man. I hope Harden went and had him with some whole lot of booty shaking in his face last night, man, and everything. And hope he just a little off tonight. I hope so. Hope it's a look ahead, man. It's going up to 8.5. I like the Hawks plus the 8.5, man. Call me crazy. Let's get to the next game. We got the Nuggets versus the Mavs here. Mavs -3. The Nuggets, they still super deep team. They are on the road, man. But lately, man, I've been fading my Mavs team. I mean, I know they beat the Bulls, but Bulls 0-4, 0-4 the last 4 games. It's still without Porzingis here. They did get Tim Hardaway Jr. back, so that's good. The Nuggets are missing Will Barton here, so it'll be interesting to see. What they 2-2 on the road trip so far. This is the last game of the Nuggets road trip, so you know that's always a weird spot for me. The reason why I have stayed off of it, but I can't say the Mavs my team, man. I think that the Nuggets, if they, and this the only thing is the Nuggets come to play. I think the matchup can match up against Nuggets can match up against anybody. But last 5 games it went over. It'll be interesting to see. I can't say I'm leaning towards and the Mavs went over there into the Nuggets and beat them at the house too this year, October 29th, beginning of the year, 109-106. So technically a revenge spot as well for the Nuggets. I'm leaning towards the Nuggets. Last game in the road trip. I saw with the Pistons last night, I kind of bucked it a little bit, even though they were much better than the Cavs. Still, the last game road trip, I just never again, because it's always a fade spot for me. It's always a fade spot for me. It's either you fading or I'm staying off, even if it looks good. That's probably why the line going from 2 to 3. What you got? I like the Mavs. I hope the Mavs win. But as far as me betting these matchups, way the Mavs have been looking without Porzingis, Luka kind of sort of like he was getting healthy the last game. Before that, he was ailing. What you got? What you got, Jordan?
Real quick, I don't want to skip ahead too much, but I'm going to beat you to the punch on this one. It looks like Marcus Morris isn't going to play tonight. He's doubtful. So we'll talk about that game here in just a second. But don't be surprised you see more people jumping on the Jazz, especially in some money line parlays. Anyways, this is a Denver and Dallas game is actually interesting to me, but not so much from a betting angle. Is something that you said is that Will Barton is going to be out tonight, which almost certainly means that Michael Porter Jr. is about to get his first NBA start, and him versus Luka Doncic tonight is probably going to be the game I'm going to be most interested in watching this evening, just because I think that's going to be the world's about to get introduced to Michael Porter Jr. because they've basically been doing whatever they can to get him more minutes, and it would not be surprising me if they make a trade to trade one of those bench guards, Torrey Craig or Beasley. Even to get him open up some more playing time for him because just every time he steps on the court he's been playing really well. And you tell me that he's going to get to start his first NBA game against Luka Doncic. Like I don't even want to bet on the game. I just want to watch it just for purely a fan standpoint in this one because I think it's going to be crazy. I really don't have a lean towards either side of it. Steam's been going towards Dallas. I think they're the I don't know if they're the better team, but at home, laying 3 points, that just basically means this is a pick 'em essentially at a neutral site. So I think I'm probably just going to stay off and just enjoy the game and hope Michael Porter Jr. just goes absolutely nuts.
Exactly. I could definitely see it, man. Obviously, the Nuggets gonna have to come play here. I don't know if I don't know if the Mavs really have an answer for Jokic if he's in the zone like he was the last game. I don't know if they have a real answer for him, to be honest with you. Between Powell, I don't know if they have enough without. I think that they needed to put Porzingis on him, to be honest with you. That was a perfect matchup for him. Leaning towards the Nuggets, I probably won't get there, man. I probably won't. Be interested to see. Maybe could make a live play or something. See if they come into play early here. Last game of road trip, man. I'm probably gonna stay off. It gets to the next game. We got the Bulls versus the Pelicans, man. The Bulls. Who's out in this game? Yeah, Wendell Carter Jr. Their starting center is out. Drew Holiday is out for the Pelicans. The Pelicans still. I mean, obviously Lonzo Ball's been playing better of late. He can kind of step in and fill in. It's still filling big shoes. You look at the Bulls. They kind of slowing up a little lately. They lost 4 straight games to all good teams, the Bucks, the Jazz, the Celtics, and the Mavs. So the Pelicans aren't really in that realm or whatever, but the Pelicans have been playing good ball lately. They hadn't, you know what I'm saying? The Pelicans, in my opinion, they've been playing better than the Bulls, man, and they're the home team here. They've covered 7 straight games. It's not no 6-1 because it say push on the 10 versus late. No, they didn't. They covered this shit. Their line was 11, 10 and a half all day, went to 10 late. They covered that. Trust me, I was on the Pelicans large in their game when we cashed it. So they 7-0 ATS last 7 games. They played a real good game versus Utah. Utah is absolutely balling. The Jazz offense looks fluid as I've ever seen it, man. They passing the ball. Inglis, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't even like he can ball like that. Inglis has been balling, man. But I watched that game versus the Pelicans. Want to see if the Jazz was going to cover there one late. They didn't end up covering it. Pelicans gave them all they could handle. If they playing with that same, and that was without Drew Holiday, if they playing with that same intensity, they'll get it done tonight versus the Bulls. I'm pretty close to fading the Bulls once again, especially without Wendell Carter Jr. They need him out there, man. It's their starting center. It's just you can't be dropping bodies already when you already not a good team on the road. You know what I'm saying? If they was at the house maybe, but I don't know why it moved down from 5 to 4. Maybe people realizing that Drew Holiday out, but Wendell Carter Jr. is a bigger deal. Any thoughts on this game, Jordan?
Yeah, this is another game where I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of leaning towards the Pelicans here. I haven't gotten there yet, but the Bulls. I will say this: if Daniel Gafford's ankle is okay, which he sprained his ankle pretty bad in their last game, and he's probable for tonight. But I don't know how, if he's less than 100%, this is a guy that is really dependent on his leaping ability to grab rebounds and block shots and stuff. Uber athletic, and he's going to need every bit of that against the Pelicans here. If he's not right, the Bulls' front court depth just goes absolutely to crap. I mean, they're going to have to play Felicio tonight and activate him for the first time all year or something. Like, I don't know what they're going to do without Carter, and if Gafford can't give them, like 30 minutes or something, tonight, like, because they're going to need every bit of him tonight. If he gets in foul trouble, like, the Bulls are in deep trouble. As like you said, the Pelicans have been absolutely balling lately. I mean, like, and 4 points against for a team that's averaging over 120 points per game in their last 5 against some really good opponents. They played the Lakers in there. They played the Pacers in their last 5. Who else they played? They played Houston and Utah. I mean, these are not bad defenses. They put up 120 points. Like, Pelicans could just absolutely explode tonight. I'm not really. I'm talking myself into it as I sit here, but the one thing that just scares me is just the Bulls defensively could really come to play. As long as they can hold down the middle, I think they're going to be fine in that aspect. So it really comes down to that center position. And if they're leaky defensively in the middle tonight, the Pelicans are going to absolutely exploit that because they got way too much speed to get to the bucket, and they still got a lot of shooting without Drew Holiday in the lineup to make 3-pointers. Brandon Ingram being the best player on the floor, and the Bulls really having not much of an answer for him either. I think you got to lean towards the Pelicans in this one. I may end up jumping on it, if not maybe putting it in a money line parlay or something tonight.
Yeah, and Derek Favors should absolutely eat, man. He should absolutely eat tonight.
He should, yeah. I don't know, man. He's getting a little
old. The Bulls need Wendell Carter Jr. out there. That's the only thing I'm gonna say, man. And they on the road. They on a little slide right now. Pelicans have been playing really good. And if they had Drew Holiday in this motherfucker, boy, it would be a smash spot. It would. But I still like them to minus. I still like the Pelicans here minus the 4, man. Well, let's get to this next game. We only got 2 more of them left, Jordan. Let's get to the next game. We got the Knicks versus the Jazz here. Knicks are in an absolute terrible spot. Doesn't mean that it's an absolute fade or, you know what I'm saying, they're not going to cover here. What, Julius Randle sit down this spot? Be interesting to see. I can't say I will hop on the Jazz if Morris and Reynolds out. With Morris sitting last night, it almost kind of tells me he's going to play tonight. They knew it was a little first game back-to-back. They knew it was going to be a terrible spot tonight. They when it got blown out by 30, I thought they was going to show a little bit more fight than that versus the Lakers. I didn't step in front of the Lakers. I didn't bet on that game, but it's one of them games that I like to watch. Obviously, when the team is on the first game of back-to-back, the Jazz have been absolutely rolling lately. They are coming back to the house first game after a 3-game road trip, so that does kind of, you know what I'm saying, they went on beginning of December 19th, went on a 3-game road trip. Then they came back to the house 1 game, went on another, went to the Clippers for 1 game, then come back to the house for Detroit. Then they go on another 3-game road trip. Now they come back to the house again. I don't really like it. It's Atlanta shitload of points. They should blow the shit out the Knicks here, but I'm probably not. I'm probably gonna stay away from it. Wanted to take the under as well, but the Jazz have been playing some absolute offense lately. Man, I'm talking about their boys are in the groove. They pass, they whipping the ball around. You know what I'm saying? They look like a complete team, and it's crazy to say because Conley's still not playing. I mean, they looking like Jazz team that we thought at the beginning of the year. One of the contender, a dark horse in the West, and Conley's not out there, and they playing phenomenal right now. I'm not stepping in front of them. No way I could take the Knicks. It's Jazz or nothing for me. Probably won't get there. Too many points. First game back at the house. Been playing all over the fucking place. Maybe if I could have got on it early, I done lost a whole lot of value now. I mean, my boogie don't even be open until 12. So unless I hop on something overnight or something, that's really before I can catch it. You know what I'm saying? I like to, especially with their winning, my boogie gonna bump it up a point anyway. He probably gonna have Jazz 14 to have. So I like to take dogs over there. That's why I'm looking. I'm gonna be on these college basketball dogs today, man. If y'all watching live later, y'all follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna be on some college basketball dogs tonight for real, live dogs, man. But in this spot, could only look towards Jazz, could only look towards the under. What you thinking, Jordan?
Yeah, it looks like Marcus Morris is going to sit tonight. That just dropped like 5 minutes ago. He's doubtful now, so you're without Randall and him tonight. Probably it was going to be the RJ Barrett show. Obviously, I smashed his prop bet last night. Wish I would have seen the Randall news earlier. I would have done the same thing tonight because now Marcus Morris is out. That would have been absolutely crushed. Yeah, the excuse me, the second night of a back-to-back against a team that's been playing the best basketball of the season. Yeah, I'm not taking the points with the Knicks tonight. But then again, like you said, just a ton of points to lay here for the Jazz. It's just not really that appealing to me in this spot. So I'm ready to move on to the next game. To be honest, let's wrap it up here with the Bucks and the Warriors.
Yeah, Bucks and Warriors, man. Bucks have been phenomenal off the loss. I can't say I'm not stepping in front of them right here. I think they could absolutely. Draymond Green is going to play here. It would have been interesting to see if Russell would have played. I can't say it probably would have been a little interesting game there, but with no Russell, just Green back, that's not enough, man. The Bucks, if they want to, they could come in here and really, really handle it up on the Warriors and blow them out by 30 if they want to. And to be honest, I want to see it. I like the Warriors. I like seeing them, boy. I don't like the Warriors. I like seeing them get blown out. That's what I like. And Russell is going to sit in this one. George Hill is going to sit for the Bucks here, so they probably feel like they could just sleepwalk through this one. Pretty sure they can, though. But like I say, 81 ATS last 9 games, man, following the loss, especially of 9 or more points, man. Them boys just, oh man, they just smash, man. They smash. And if, like I say, if they want to send a message here, the last game, the last time that they played versus the Warriors beat them by 10. So I mean, all those times that it was close, all that. If the Bucks want to come in here like, no, we hate y'all stinking guts. We want to put it on y'all when kick y'all while you're down. And which they should. Could only take the Bucks here. I'm not taking too many points on the road as one of them. If I see in game something that they come to play, we're finna smack them out, then I will. But before game, me just say that it's 13 and a half on the road. I mean, with Draymond, I mean, it'd be a whole other thing if it was no Draymond Green. We've seen Golden State look totally different. It's crazy to say they bring a little bit of a different intensity when Draymond Green is out there, even though I'm not a big fan of him. That he still is kind of the hardest. So he's the only one from the championship teams, you know what I'm saying, out there playing. So he kind of sort of makes the other players step up a little bit. It'd be interesting to see any thoughts on this game, Jordan.
Yeah, I do have a lean on this one, and I'm. This is another one that I might make official later. But the first half total of 105, it's gone down a full point and a half with this total steaming down. I was looking at it this morning at 219 and a half. It's gone all the way down to 217 for the full game, and I really don't like going opposite the steam. But I'm really thinking about the over here simply for the fact of just something that you just mentioned is that with Draymond Green in we think of him mostly as a defender, but like. He's very important to their offense with all these guys missing like Curry and Thompson because they kind of run the offense through him now. Like he's one of their better passers, if not their best passer right now with Russell off the court as well. So, I mean, like there's still talent on this Warriors team. They can still hit shots at home. I don't think the Bucks defense, especially in the first half, is invincible by any means, especially like you said, a game that they may not take completely seriously, even though it does concern me a little bit. They just got their ass kicked, and now they're coming into this spot. But I think that actually helps the over here early in the game because I think they could easily put up 60-plus against this Warriors team in the first half. If that happens, all you need is, 46 points from the Warriors? Like, they can do that at home. Even against the Bucks, like, I mean, you're right. They're missing one of their best bench defenders in George Hill tonight. I haven't taken anything yet, but I'm really leaning towards first half over in this one. 105 is not a lot of points when you have a Bucks team that could absolutely steamroll them and drop 120 points and do 60-plus of those in the first half.
Exactly. So you want to go ahead and tell them your official plays for today, Jordan? So we try to get to some cash today, man.
Yep. Right now, only thing I'm gonna make official right now is Hawks +8. I'm definitely jumping on that with you, so we're both on that one. And I'm probably gonna once we get to Brogdon, it's a bonus news for the Pacers. I think I'm gonna be on them in the first half if both those guys are in. So that'll be my second official one. And then I'm real close to making this over in the first half of the Bucks and the Warriors too. My last one for official, but we'll see what I think that'll at least be a very good. That'll be at least a very good chance that happens. So I think that you got over first half, Bucks, Warriors, Pacers first half, and Hawks +8.
Bad, got you. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, man. Y'all know what's up. Jammin with J Money. And then once again, let's keep Junior in all our thoughts, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow or Friday, man. So we'll try to, you know what I'm saying, get to some cash with my guy Junior, man. But we're gonna make sure he's ready before he does come back. And we're gonna try to get to some cash, man. We appreciate all you guys for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. We out.